What's up, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Get right in front of the camera for y'all, man. So earlier, I was looking at ESPN First Take and I saw Jalen Rose on First Take, and they were talking about Kevin Durant's injury. He re-injured himself last night, and that game 5, and it's looking like he possibly tore his Achilles. He possibly has a torn Achilles, right? And so Jalen Rose basically blamed the culture of sports for Kevin Durant's injury last night. And you know what? Let's talk about this because I've talked about this before, but I really want to get into this because it's something that I think needs to be discussed. It doesn't need to be swept under the rug. In sports, fans, especially fans, and a lot of times these organizations too. These organizations do it a lot too. People within the organizations, even other players, do it to other players, and they call them out in the media when they get on all these different media networks and platforms. They call out other players and all of that. They tell them, they need to play through injuries. You need to be tough. You need to stick it out. You need to tough it out. And I hear fans say, "Are you getting paid all this money? You need to be playing." First of all, that person is getting paid handsomely because that person has a skill that you wish you had. That person has a skill that most individuals on the street would kill for, right? So I hate when people say you getting paid all this money. They deserve that money because you love watching them play. But yeah, and still, right? Athletics, people want athletes to be gladiators. They want them to be gladiators, to battle through everything and play. They want you to play with a broke foot, so you can show the world how tough you are, and we can get all these, you can get all this applause, you can get all these salutes and all of this and all of that, right? They want you to play when you're not ready to come back, only to get re-injured again, and all you get was them little hand claps and those salutes and those little, the high fives and all the cheers. But that person ain't gonna give you your career back. They're not gonna give you the money that you could possibly be making in the future if you weren't injured. They're not gonna give you that money that you probably could miss out on because you so anxious. They trying to make you come back early. They want to make you feel so bad about you. They want to make you feel soft about not returning when they want you to. Because fans put pressure on athletes, and the organizations do too. The same thing happened with that very thing happened with Kawhi Leonard. People saying, "Oh, the doctors cleared you to play." Let me tell y'all something, man. An athlete knows their body better than any doctor. If an athlete is saying their body does not feel right, they don't feel like they good to go, you gotta trust the athlete's word. These athletes want to play, man. They want to play. They don't just want to make money. They want to play. They've been doing this. They've been playing these games all their life. They've been in athletics all their life. They've been competitive in it. They want to play. They want to have a great legacy. They want to win championships. But if they telling you they can't play, you got to listen to that player and believe them, right? Instead of trying to vilify them, right? And Kevin Durant wasn't vilified. Let me just say this. I think Kevin Durant really wanted to come back, on his own merits. I feel like he really wanted to help contribute to the team's success, right? And I also feel like, too, he didn't want to, if the Warriors were to, if they would have come back, I think KD wanted to be a part of that. I think he wanted to be a part of him being a big reason why they were winning. And I think he really wanted to, be a big part of that dynasty of possibly winning 3 championships in a row. He wanted to be a part of that, right? But then, who knows? It could have been pressure from some other people in the organization, or he could have felt pressure from fans like, "KD, we need you. You got to come back. You got to come back." Ultimately, I think KD just really wanted to come back. But athletes being pressured to come back from the culture of sports, that's a real thing. People want athletes to be straight up gladiators, right? And I always tell people, being a gladiator and coming back too soon from an injury when you're not ready gets you Brandon Roy. Your career is done because you want to come back and you want to get you want to play for the fans, and you want to put on a great show to show that you can play through anything, and you're tough and you're a strong-willed individual. And that's okay. That's great to be tough and strong-willed, but you also have to think about your career longevity. You want to make a lot of money. You want to have a lucrative career. want to play for a long time, and you want to create, generational wealth for your families, and you don't want it to cut off before. You don't want that to cut off too soon. You want to have a long career. You want to not just make money. You want to win championships. You want to have your legacy cemented amongst the greats. All these players want that type of legacy, whether they will achieve it or not. And a lot of them won't achieve it, but a lot of them will too. They want to have long careers to be legendary players. But you got individuals that try to make athletes feel bad about not coming back quick enough. I watch people vilify Derrick Rose so much, and so I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I'm in Chicago. I watched them talk about that boy like a dog, calling him soft because he don't want to come back and return, and he ain't coming back too soon. He ain't coming back soon enough. And I watch people in the in the newspapers and all these columns tear him down, and he's being medically cleared to play, and he's scared to come back, and it's all in his head and all of that. How you gonna tell that man what's in his head and what's not? He know his body better than anybody, but yet and still you got people telling athletes, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You can come and play. You can come and play. Quit being soft. Tough it out. Tough it out." Bruh, I know people that go to work that would stay home at work when they had a common cold. They sneezing too hard, they'll stay home. They got a sore stomach, they want to stay home then. But because these people act as your entertainment and people have an identity, sports is often the identity of some people. So much that they want to see these athletes play. They want to see these athletes play even when they're not ready, because it would make them feel better to know that I can see that he's giving 100% because he's out there. And I tell all the fans that act like that, and act like, if a player's not playing, with an injury that you feel like, oh, he should be coming back, or he's cleared to play and he's not coming back, and you calling him soft, man, to hell with y'all. To hell with y'all, man. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna pay these players that money back that they could possibly miss by returning from injury too soon. You're not gonna drive players into the ground and tough it out. I seen so many players get injured. I remember Kobe trying to tough it out and messing up his Achilles and all of that, and all that. Playing whenever. You play through anything. All that tough stuff sound good for TV. It sounds good for a sports narrative on these movies and these documentaries. It sounds good for that type of stuff. It sounds good for TV. It sounds made for television. But in real life, these athletes want to play for a very, very long time. They're not trying to ruin their careers for fans to be proud of them, to get kudos from fans because they played when they were injured. Like, okay, I'm gonna get kudos, and what happens after that? If I play and I don't perform well, they're going to blame it on me and say, they're going to blame it on the athlete and say, well, he shouldn't have played if he knew he wasn't 100%. But yet still, if the athlete doesn't play, he's a bad person. Oh, man, he's selfish. He ain't putting the team first because he was cleared to play, or he could possibly play on this injury and he's trying to sit out. But if the athlete plays and they don't play too well, they turn the ball over, they're not in rhythm, he messed us up. He messed our whole rhythm up and all of that. I see how it goes all the time, man. And this doesn't just happen in basketball. It happens in football a lot. I'm sure it happens in baseball. I'm sure it happens in boxing and everything. Calling you soft because you're not trying to press forward with whatever sporting event it is, because deep down in your heart your body not right. And you got other people looking at you like, yes, it is. Telling you, yes, it is. That's why I ain't like when Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili and them came out talking about their injury. Whichever one of them had an injury. Maybe I think it was Tony Parker. His injury was like 10 times worse than Kawhi's and all of that. Throwing Kawhi under the bus to the media so that they can pile on to Kawhi and pressure him to come back and play sooner than what he was ready to do. Kawhi played like 9 games that season. And all these other people, all his teammates putting pressure on him to come back. Kawhi, like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm packing up my bags. And now he got the Toronto Raptors in the NBA Finals. And the San Antonio Spurs wish they still had Kawhi because they sitting at home right now. So, and he got out of there. I really felt like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. You got your own teammates trying to press forward that gladiator mentality on him when he's telling them, I'm not ready, and they going into the media and bashing him. Man. And it's like, man, I don't fool with that. I don't feel that at all. So I wasn't mad at Kawhi, man. You gotta know, when your body is right, and you know when it's not right. You gotta make that call. I wasn't mad at D Rose when he made the call that he made. Ultimately, he knew his body was not ready, and he came back and got hurt. Still, but just imagine if you would have came back sooner. The stuff probably would have happened quicker. It probably could have been a worse situation for him because everybody else was so mad and they want you to play because they care about they team having a certain standing. They want to get the champion. We want this championship. We need it, so you need to come back. It don't matter if you hurt. It don't matter if you injured. And I know what y'all gonna say. It was not what happened to Derek was saying. He'd rather walk with his, he'd rather walk with his kid in the future and all of that. Man, he was trying to tell y'all, I'm not finna go out here and dog my body and blow my body out when I know it's not ready for y'all to be pleased. And ultimately, my career ends and I'm out here walking crippled and walking funny. But he wanted to play and be a player with great longevity and a great player. Obviously, it was proof he won an MVP in his third season and was the youngest MVP ever with 22 wins. And LeBron, my dog, but don't tell me LeBron deserved that MVP because Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls had the best record in the NBA, and D Rose starting two guard was Keith Bogans. And you ain't never seen Keith Bogans score more than 10 points in your whole damn life. And that was his starting two guard. So, yeah. D Rose deserved that MVP at 22 years old, averaging 25 and 7.8 or something like that. You rounded up to 8 assists a game, which was dope. But anyway, man, yeah, they do that to athletes all the time. I saw Brandon Roy come back too soon. He got all the kudos, all the claps in Portland, and everybody was standing up and saluting him. And then, come to find out, his career was over with because he came back trying too soon, trying to give the Portland fans hope, trying to play for the Portland fans. And, I'm sure he wanted to play too. It was playing for himself too, but ultimately, I know in his mind, he knew that wasn't the best decision to make. Doctors knew it wasn't the best decision to make. Brandon Roy came back like 2 weeks after surgery. And I'm like, what in the world? What is he doing? Had a phenomenal game, but I'm sure he'd rather have a phenomenal career rather than that one game and a couple of more games after that. Because after that, man, he went down. And it was done for, unfortunately, man. And Brandon was a very excellent basketball player. I remember them battles with Kobe Bryant in the Western Conference. He was real. But yeah, man, Jalen had a great point, man. The culture of sports make people feel like you're soft if you're not playing and you cleared to play, or you could possibly the timetable said you can return right now and you didn't return right now, so you soft and you selfish. Man, get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. These players are concerned they're concerned for their well-being and their future and their family's future. And I ain't mad at that, man. Make sure you have a long, healthy career. You can ball out and get them big contracts that you deserve because you got a skill set that not many men on this earth possess, and what most men wish they could have. So you should be rewarded handsomely for that because you serve as the entertainment for a lot of citizens that are into sports. You serve as their entertainment. Their entertainment, when they want an escape from life, you are their entertainment, and you do it in fine fashion. So those players should be rewarded handsomely for that. And I hate when people try to count another man's pockets too. I hate that. Don't count another man's pockets. But especially a guy that you know is earning it. He doing his thing, and he hurt, so he don't deserve that money. Yeah, get the hell out of here, man. Why he hurt, he can still ball you up and everybody in your family in your neighborhood. But I just hate this whole... Jalen Rose had a point, though, about the culture of sports having, he didn't say these words, but it could have a toxic effect on the psyche of a player trying to come back too soon from an injury that they know they're not ready to return from. Again, I feel like Kevin Durant came back on his own merits. I feel like he really wanted to come back. But Jalen had a great point that possibly he could have felt that, hey, KD, we need you. We need you. Hurry up, hurry up. And he probably felt it from other journalists too. KD, They need you. Without KD, it's a done deal. But ultimately, I think he did that on his own merits. However, it just didn't work in his favor. KD wanted to come back and wanted to help contribute to that three-peat. He wanted to help continue to contribute to a possible three-peat. It just didn't go his way, man. It didn't go his way, man. And Jalen just he brought up a great point about the culture of sports. Like, making it seem like if you don't play, you soft. That's all I got, y'all. Machiavelli Mills TV. Thank y'all for tuning in. Tell everybody to subscribe. I appreciate all the new subscribers, and I appreciate those who view my content and always comment or give me compliments, feedback. All the feedback that I get, I appreciate it. Peace.